like on a movie, right?
Okay.
Like on a movie, how it would like fade into the memory.
Yes.
And then you're in the memory, and at some point you like forget that it's a memory.
Yes.
You're just in it, and you're in the flashback, and you're having this experience, and it's so real.
Yeah.
And then it starts to fade back, and it's disorienting for me. I go someplace else, and I hate it to try and keep myself in reality as hard. And then when I come back, it feels like I've lost it. And now I'm trying to convince myself that reality is reality. And I'm like, it's not. It feels like reality is make believe.
We'll make it out and fall in love tonight.
Today, I thought I stole yours.
Way to go, Idaho.
Just kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
Just, I don't even know who I'm stealing cups from. I'm just, better watch your cups.
Watch your cups.
Watch your cups.
Steph's coming for cups.
Here I come. I got a ticket for
You got a cup obsession.
right?
I was going to
just
say,
wanted
how many do you
something-
need over there? But I've got the same amount, so I can't judge.
Oh, look at that. It's funny. You were going to judge until you saw that you had it, and then you're like, oh, actually, it's okay.
I'm still going to judge.
You still going to judge?
I'll find
I'm going
something.
to judge too.
I'm super in judgment.
Look at my face. I'm judging. This is my judgy face.
That's your judgment face?
Yes.
Yeah. It's still beautiful.
Thank you.
No, I realized earlier today when we were preparing for this podcast episode, did you just spill
No.
in the first 10 seconds? It's okay if you did.
That's what I normally do.
It's how you
I'm
roll.
known for it.
That's why you need all the
I'm known
cups.
for spilling all over myself consistently.
You're on the search for one that doesn't spill.
I am. That's why I'm a cup collector.
I was going to say we
Is
need to get
there
you a
one?
sippy cup, but they'll spill too.
I think it might be my lip. Maybe I have, I've been accused of having a hole in my lip my whole life, so maybe I do. Maybe I should just get a piercing and put an actual hole in my lip.
If you
And
could
then
get a
it'll
piercing,
be-
you can obviously, right?
I don't know.
What piercing would you get if you could get a piercing right now?
Both my nipples.
That's not
Nipples.
true.
Bam.
That's not true.
And I would want a chain to,
That's not true.
and I would walk in here. Ching,
This
ching,
isn't
ching.
what I want you to get pierced.
Do you
The
want me to get my
question is,
nipples
what do you
pierced?
want to get
'Cause
pierced?
I really don't. Why do I want to get pierced?
Yeah.
I
Anything?
kind of feel like I'm too old for piercings.
Too old for
How
piercings?
sad is that?
I know that I've asked you this before
Have
and I
you?
have this information in my head, but back in the day, did you do the belly button piercing?
Oh, yes. I've had my belly button pierced. I've had eyebrow pierced, nose pierced, lip, and ears.
Your
Also,
Lizzo pierced?
My Lizzo. I've had my Lizzo. These I did myself
Okay.
and panicked and immediately took them out because I was
So you
a
didn't have them long?
teenager. No, I was a teenager in my room with a safety pin and an ice cube.
Yeah.
And then realized I'm going to die. I'm in trouble. So I was so they came out.
Did you put piercings in?
Yes. But
It would have been fine, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure you were doing everything above board. You had, all the proper PPE in place and
Yeah, I think honestly, it was just another way to self-harm and
Yeah.
rebellion because it felt really good.
right.
And now I'm I kind of wish I would have left. I think it would have been awesome if I'd have had I like the eyebrow. I like the nose. I like the lip. I like all those things. I just don't like that now my face is a little lower than when it was up here, all the piercings. Now that they're down here, I'm like, we don't need any more weight.
And you had the belly
So-
button too?
I had the belly button for years. Yeah.
I don't think I remember. I didn't see any of these, right?
You
They were
didn't.
all long gone
Yeah.
before Craig
I
showed
took
up.
the belly button out when I got pregnant because I heard that if you had a belly button ring in and you got pregnant, it stretched the hole out, the belly button, the piercing. So you would have this big open, how you do gauges
Okay.
for your belly button. And I was like,
Could be the case. Ladies out there, if you've got information.
I feel like there's lots of pregnant women
I was going to say,
that
send
prove
us your belly button
that
pictures.
isn't
And I was like, no.
that isn't true. But I was like, that's enough. I don't want that. And
Yeah.
so I took it out. And then after that, I was like, I don't show off my belly anymore. So there was no need for it. So nipples.
Get 'em done.
What piercing would you get?
I don't think I would. I'm not
You
much of
know?
a, I was never much a drawn to get the piercings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've never pierced anything, have you?
I mean, I've like, did all the stabbing of my body with objects and things, but
Yeah. But like for the intent of a piercing.
no.
Yeah. You've never like pierced your ears or
Nope.
what do they call the penis piercing?
Is that the Prince Albert?
Yeah. You don't have I mean, I know you don't, but you've like never.
Babe, we got to have a conversation.
You never had a jingle balls?
No. No, and zero desire for it. Yeah, piercing wasn't one that I was like super into in any fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't have that. That's interesting. Yeah. As I sit and reflect on it now, think back, I think that's that's definitely something that would be right up my alley.
Are we getting into Craig's piercing era?
I really don't think so.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I'm got left to do to this body is tattoo it up.
Okay, we need all the tattoos.
Yeah. I still need quite a few tattoos. I did hear recently, though, that apparently, this might come as a shock to you.
What's that?
But apparently tattoos might not be safe for us. And I don't mean like us, you and me, but like the ink getting into your system. And apparently they're finding links to issues with that, supposedly.
Yeah.
But
I think they need to stop blaming the tattoos and actually look at the food that they're feeding us and pharmaceuticals instead of being like, it's the tattoos. Bullshit.
Well, I don't think like the number of tattoos that we have in the small, because we've each got a handful of tattoos and they're relatively small.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to necessarily worry about it. But like if I want to go all out with some of these tattoos that I've got in mind, and that might be quite a bit of ink. But I think you're right. Who cares? And they need to stop doing studies.
Oh, right. Well, no, it's
Wasn't
not
that a reel that we saw where some lady was like, y'all just need to stop doing stuff. Like, let us have something, please.
I think they're just really trying to make you look at the things that they're not making money from. They're like, hey, we're not making money from this. Look at this. This is where. But,
over here,
you keep having all these crazy food additives that make you need all these pharmaceuticals because that's not the problem. It's tattoos and marijuana.
It's tattoos and marijuana, right? That's totally the problem. Blame it on the tattooed people. I'm going to tell the story of that gal, the lady at the Food City at the grocery store the other day that was like,
why? I'm going to get, okay. Okay, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I'm not telling this story?
No, go for it.
What are you going to eat?
No.
You said, I'm going to get... Do you know what story I'm talking about?
We'll see. Go for it.
I do not feel safe to proceed.
It's because I got scared and I spoke my fear before I could catch it. And so I was like, nah. But it slipped out before I could catch it. And I'm trying to like reel it back in.
So I was at the grocery store the other day doing the grocery things at the grocery store. And she's an older lady. She's got to be in her 60s or something.
Oh, it's not the story I thought you were going to tell.
Okay. Yeah. What story did you think I was going to tell?
Tell this one.
You thought I was going to tell that story.
I was like, no way, Jose.
I'm going to tell that story.
Okay. I was like,
completely different story.
See, I was trying to be brave. I like the story you're about to tell.
Yeah. It was fun. So I'm checking out, going through the checkout stand line. Jesus. I go to the grocery store often, as you can tell. And the lady was like, you look like and she just like stopped and looked at me and she was like, you look like a hero, like you look like an action, like you look like one of those, like an action star hero. And I'm all, that's amazing. Greatest compliment ever. Right. I'm like, hell yeah. Thanks, lady. And she was super nice about it. And we just kind of proceed upon our day. Right. Next day or 2 days later, I don't even know when.
Did you see her again?
Same thing happens. I'm at the checkout stand.
Is it the same lady?
Same lady.
Ooh.
She wasn't checking out.
Are you sure?
She wasn't doing the cashiering.
Was she just waiting for you?
She just walked by and she's like, there's my gladiator. Yeah.
Now, we needed the theme song. You need to walk around with the boom box.
Right.
With the good old and the Spotty Tyler.
I need a full on like Roman outfit that I need to go in there with swords and sandals.
You make her day every time you cross her path. Your existence, there's my gladiator.
So right?
Listen.
And she was...
Listen, Linda. Easy, girl.
Oh my God, you just sparked a dream in my head.
Well.
I wonder if that was really a dream or not.
Okay.
I just had a memory of something. That must have been a dream.
You can tell both. You can continue
Back
with
to the
this
Linda.
story,
So when she said it
and
the
then you
second
can-
time
yeah.
on the second day or whatever, put a big smile on my face and everything, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because it's like, who said, like, that's a great compliment to give somebody.
It's a great compliment.
Right?
Yes.
And I was like, thank you. Yeah. And and then she like made a point to come over and she's like, you know, when I say that, like I mean, like she wanted to make sure she knew that she wasn't like making fun of me or something. She's like, I'm being nice. And I'm like,
I know.
or she's like, I say that as a compliment. And I'm like, I take it as one. Like, I'm totally fine. You could call me your gladiator all you want. Not because of her or the lady or any, there's nothing
You
about
can call
that.
me your gladiator if you want to. Baby, you're so gladiator. Like, she's on point.
But it was very cool.
Yeah,
It was a
it's
cool
very
compliment.
I like that you get those compliments because
I don't get those compliments. That was a first time experience.
Oh, let's paint a story. So they just say different, but you've got like people. Yeah. By the way, that's a great pose right there. Like, you're just handsome.
Spilling
You just
my cards
handsome.
everywhere.
But like, you like go through these. Like, you've had your Jake Gyllenhaal phase.
Oh,
You've
yeah, you
had
remember
your
that one?
Bradley Cooper phase. Who else did you have?
I was
like,
a
were
Fred Savage when I was a kid. I had a Fred
Okay,
Savage
that was before my
phase.
time. But you have like, you embody main character energy, hero energy, and other people see it and they mention it to you. And it hits different than when I say it, I think. Because when I say it, you kind of like that. But when other people say it, it makes the podcast. So I'm glad you hear it because you do. You have this like this thing about you. You carry this energy and it's very beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's very alluring.
Thank you.
Enchanting. You're enchanting.
Thank
You're
you
an
very
enchanter.
much. Enchanter. And I just feel like a guy going to the grocery store.
Right? Not
Yeah.
for the lives you touch when you walk through the doors.
I think I totally need to get like a Leonidas from 300 outfit going on and surprise that lady.
Oh my.
How funny would that be?
Listen, if that happens, we need a disclaimer right now
Like, we
because
need to
if you
find
do
out-
that to that poor woman, she's not responsible for her actions.
We need to find out like when her birthday is or something. And then I bring in like, you know, I don't know what
Should
the
I
fuck
be
would you give it. You definitely should not be
I mean,
jealous. No, you should not be jealous
you're like,
of
I want to find out when her birthday is and walk in and I'm like, Leah, excuse me.
You see how funny that is.
It is funny.
Because it's funny. I mean, it's very it's a funny thing.
It is a funny thing.
It's a strange thing in my life.
Yeah.
That this thing happened. And
If you do that, if you get that outfit,
you got to record it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
recording
Like,
it. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
such
not
good
out when you're
content.
dashing by yourself. Like, I need to be in the room when it happens. I'm gonna watch you walk in. I'm filming you and everybody's, and then I'm the one that gets to take you home.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink.
We winking.
Winky, winky, winky. So we are doing, we have behind the scenes of the Steph and Craig show, we have been putting our brains together. And turns out there's not much left.
You know, we're doing our best.
This year.
It's the end of the year.
This
We're
year
doing
has
our best.
really offered up quite a bit for us to experience and go through and deal with. And so as far as when it comes to the podcast, we've decided, first and foremost, this episode, we're going to do our best to just keep it light
Yes.
and easy. I don't know if you're a fan of the podcast and you've been listening for this year, right? We have unpacked quite a bit on the show.
It's been a year.
Recently, the last few episodes, like the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes have just been a lot. We've done a lot of stuff, a lot of work, a lot of deep emotional work. On the podcast, a lot of these episodes that we've done lately have ended in tears and heavy things that, so we're like, fuck all that.
Now, this one almost started in tears, but we caught it. We caught it.
So we're going to do a fun, lighthearted episode. And we've only got a couple more episodes this year left. So what we are also doing is we're cutting ourselves some slack and giving ourselves an opportunity to kind of rest as the year comes to an end, which is like really big and mature of us. Most of the time, I don't do this. Most of the time, I'm like, the year is almost over. We have to go harder than we've ever gone before in order to accomplish all the goals that we set out for the year of 2024. Yeah. So what's happening is we're releasing one episode a week instead of 2 for the next few weeks.
Right.
And then, we'll wrap up for the year. But so this year, or not this year, this week, you're only getting this episode of the podcast. And then next week, you'll get another one. So we've got a couple more left, like I said.
And we're really aiming towards fun.
Yeah, we're just aiming to kind of finish off the
Who
year
knows
with
what'll happen?
Some simpler things.
Yeah.
Some lighthearted episodes.
Yes.
It's hard because we're not in a lighthearted space. Like I'm in a fucking gunky place right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not in a place of like, I've recognized it. Well, I've been recognizing it for a while. And then I was thinking about recording today and I'm just like, and even the thought of trying to just have a lighthearted episode, like I'm scared to sit down and talk to you on the podcast.
Is it going to get deep? And you're like, I don't want to have that.
Well, you and I can't, we're so busy right now trying to, do the things that we need to do in order to live that we're not spending a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And when you and I tend to spend time together, we tend to process and we tend to talk, and especially, obviously on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to sit down and talk to you because I'm going to start being like, baby, it's so hard. And then just start crying again about emotional things that are, causing me pain. But
sounds like you need to talk.
I do.
We don't have to do it on the podcast though, but it sounds like you need that space.
I do. I need a therapist.
Yeah.
Is what I need. I'm in a I need a therapist.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a thing that I do for myself next year is get myself a therapist so that I can do the therapy because that'll be helpful.
It will be.
But yeah, so there we go again. See, it's all so lighthearted,
it's
so
both.
fun.
It's both.
So chill, so relaxed.
That wasn't that like being like I'm having a hard time and I need a therapist.
I need a therapist.
Like that's normal conversation. That's like you're normalizing that hard thing. That's a good thing. I'm not saying that's not hard. I'm just like, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong there. That wasn't too heavy. That wasn't a lot. That was like, when things get hard and heavy, it's nice to have support, and that's a good thing to reach for.
I wish I could just I think one day, and they probably already are in some capacity, I think one day they'll be using AI for therapists. Like I want a ChatGPT therapist, one that just is in the style of, you could create your own therapist via AI. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy. We just have a different.
You don't want that?
No.
What's the, why don't you want that? What about that is scary for you?
Because
then they've got all your information.
Well, first of all, what was that? No, I would rather a person.
Yeah.
I would rather a person because they have the human element that they're bringing to that space that, as to where AI might be like, you should definitely go jump off a bridge right now. That will absolutely end this because they're not, as to where. So I think that would derail you. Do you remember that? What's her name? OA. What's OA's name?
The actress?
Britt something.
Britt Marling.
Okay, the second show that she did that we were like, make it an OA spinoff. It's an OA spinoff.
It was really good though.
Do you remember how, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, you
keep talking, I'm going to pull it up.
The AI was in that little boy's helmet that the dad designed, but he was like, it thought it was protecting, and so it was killing people. It was saying, go get this, he needs medicine. So the little boy would go get from the nurse's station, whatever. I don't know what to call it. I'm doing a terrible job. The place where they hold the emergency medicine, and got it and thought he was just helping, giving shots and murdering people.
Yeah. A murder at the end of the earth.
Murder at the end of the earth. Yeah. And it was really...
It's on Netflix.
It's because AI doesn't have so I'm just you're going to miss that human element. You're going to miss that human element, that consciousness, that real conscious of where somebody's going to be able to see things and help. That's you can't trust your psychological help to a machine.
That's where your brain goes?
That's where my brain goes. I'm like, no, baby, you need a person.
And my brain...
You need a person. People, a human. You need a human therapist.
My brain goes to, I can program my ideal therapist. Because the whole idea of I need to go to therapy again.
Is that how scared you are of people?
It's not how scared I am of people.
Okay.
I don't want I just want to be able to go to therapy and talk to my therapist tomorrow and have him already caught up to where Craig's at today. So I don't want to have to take the legwork of like getting comfortable and then processing and I don't want to have to go through the legwork of like catching my therapist up with the last 44 years.
You just sold me on an AI therapist.
Right.
And then they can be like, when you're having a time instead of waiting for your appointment,
you can just get on whenever you want your therapist.
AI therapy. That fast you switched me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's murder too.
Like, think about like you're driving home by yourself and you're processing your day today. And you just turn on your therapist. That sounded terrible.
Whoa. Now listen,
if you
Leonidas, where are we going here?
And then you can just be like, hey, therapist, you got a minute? And they're like, hello, Stephanie. Yes, I do. What's going on today?
Can we program a different voice?
No, that's how yours will talk. Hello, Stephanie.
Okay, but remember my robot voice.
Hello. No. Hello, Stephanie. What's happening today?
Mine's gonna be the that chick that does the printer.
Oh, right.
Once, and she's like, "What is it today?" Yeah, I'm not helping you with that.
She's all,
like, sounds like a personal problem.
You should
Suck it
probably
up,
call somebody because you've only got 4.5 minutes left on this session.
Think about how electronics work with me. Mine would glitch out, and I'd be like, "Is she said to like?"
I'm sure they've already got this. I'm sure somebody's already created this.
I'm talking to
ChatGPT thing, right?
When I leave today to go out, I'm turning my phone on. I'm saying, listen, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I want you to act like my therapist.
I'm sure it'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll do it.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, then you've already got your therapist.
Maybe. So if you haven't heard yet, we picked up Pickleball. And we're having a blast. It's super, super fun. And if you haven't started playing yet, I hope that you do soon. And if you do, we want to help you by avoiding what we did. See, when we started playing pickleball, we just went on Amazon and found some paddles that looked cool. Little did we know, but they actually were hurting our pickleball game and holding us back from being the absolute best pickleball players that we could be. And when we found out that there was a pickleball paddle company here in Tennessee, actually not too far from where we live, we got super excited. Element 6 was started by a couple of brothers who were passionate about the sport and decided to go in and make their own paddles because they needed something that served their purposes a little bit better. Lucky for us, they're now sponsoring the podcast. And I can tell you from experience that their paddles definitely make a difference. The very first time I picked up their paddle and just held it in my hand, I knew I was going to be a better pickleball player as soon as I started playing with it. And it turns out I totally am. They have paddles for everybody, for the beginner, the intermediate, and the pro level. Head over to our website, stephandcraig.co, and click on the link for E6 pickleball paddles. I highly recommend their brand new one, the Torrent, which is what we play with. When you're ready to buy, make sure to use the code Steph and Craig. Not only will you save 10%, but the guys over at E6 are also going to send you out a free gift along with your order. So pick up pickleball, pick up a new paddle from Element 6. We hope to see you on the court soon. Not too long ago, I went down the rabbit hole of trying to find us some new clothes that didn't have all sorts of toxic stuff in them. I was tired of wearing synthetic material when I worked out, when I did things like jiu-jitsu and yard work and hiking and everything like that, because it wasn't really breathable and it started to stink a lot as well. Well, lucky for me, I found Woolly clothing. Woolly uses natural merino wool, and I'm a huge fan. All of their clothes are super soft and they feel really, really good next to your skin. Their clothes are naturally moisture repellent, so when you're wearing them and working out, it almost feels like it's cooling you off. They're also odor resistant, so they don't stink after you wear them. They have a great line of men and women's clothing, and if you've never tried merino wool, I highly recommend Woolly. I've got their boxers on right now. Every episode of the podcast, I wear one of their V-neck shirts. I'm really excited for where the weather starts to change and it starts to cool off a little bit, because then I get to put on my Woolly hoodie again. Head over to our website at stephandcraig.co and click on the link for Woolly. And when you're ready to check out, be sure to use the code Steph and Craig. You'll save 15% on your order. Show them some love and get yourself a great pair of merino wool socks or underwear, or boxers, shirts, pants, shorts, tank tops, workout gear, you name it. Woolly has it.
If I come home, I swear to... I'm so scared.
You're so scared to what?
AI. It's going to be like her, only crazy.
Right.
And instead of like falling, you're going to be, what if you get hijacked?
What if I get hijacked?
Yeah, what if your brain gets AI hijacked?
I don't know, babe. Something we got to risk. It's a gamble.
Now I'm scared of it again. That's how fast my emotions go. I'm like, no,
flip-flops.
yes, no. It's been 30 seconds. And
Your AI therapist, tell us more, Stephanie. What if it talked like that too, where it didn't talk from a singing, like, tell me more. It was like, tell us more. And then you're like, who's us? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about who's back there.
No.
Who's behind the curtain.
Right?
I'm excited for when I've told you this. I'm excited for when it just is super functional.
Yeah.
And we don't have this, like right now, technology, even though it's like the greatest it's ever been, supposedly, right? You know, I don't believe that. I believe that we totally have way better, more technologically advanced eras of the human species than the one that we have right now, right? Yeah. However, it's supposedly pretty advanced right now. And it is, if you look at it compared to just this timeline that we're on and this experience of like the last 200 years, farthest reaches of technological advancement ever. And it's still clunky. And like the interface of like we were trying to come up with the Brit Marling show and I had to get my phone over here and I had to push this button and I had to click. I mean, I know that that's like super easy compared to like how things used to be. We obviously grew up with encyclopedias, right? We know what it was like to have to research things and learn things the hard way. So from that experience, it's easy, but I don't want even that clunkiness that we still exist in today. I want it just to be like integrated. I don't mind having to just talk to it. I'm okay without having to think the thoughts and having it know my thoughts and then processing things that way. But so I'm okay with just having to verbally interact with it, but I want it to work much better than it works today. It doesn't work very well today.
Do you think that it's having a negative impact on our cognitive abilities?
How so?
Like
our ability
like Google Maps. We'll just use that for a thing. And before, our phones were always telling us, turn left, turn right, up here.
Right.
We had to, like, we'd print out the maps or we had the maps, but there was a point of like responsibility of your brain to hold and retain the information.
Yeah. Do I think
we
they're
used to
making
know
us dumber?
Everybody's phone numbers.
Yeah.
You had to know everybody's phone numbers. You know, occasionally you looked in the phone, but you had to know phone numbers.
I knew all my best friends.
You had to know, and tell me one of their phone numbers now. That's not their old house phone when they were a kid. Like their phone numbers right now.
That's not a fun game.
Right.
Instead,
tell me our kids' phone numbers right now.
I don't know
Tell
your
me
phone
my
number.
phone number. Exactly. And before we had all that. So there's part of me that's like, there's a part of our brain that is no longer feeling the need to hold on to information because it's readily available. Like, I feel like it's almost like dumbing us down. It's watering, it's diluting the cognitive power.
I don't think that's the case.
You know?
I think that part of the brain that was used to remember phone numbers.
I was saying, those are just examples.
I know, but it's a great example because it puts it, like, it adds, contextualizes it.
Okay.
And I think that part of our brain that was responsible for remembering phone numbers now doesn't have to be used for that, and it can be used for other things.
Okay, I see that point.
It's not like we're dumbing us down. It's freeing us up. It's giving us the opportunity to expand and grow and evolve because we're not having to hold on to fucking phone numbers.
I totally see that.
Right.
That makes so much sense. There is that part of me where it's like I can only take in so much information before, like, I'm not retaining. Like, and whether it's a genetic thing, 'cause my mom says the same, like at some point when it's going in, it's going to start pushing out the other side. Like, I cannot.
Have I ever gone down the rabbit hole with you? Sorry, finish your thought.
No, it was just like that. So that makes sense of like the things that I used to have to use brain power for, I can now use for other things. Like obsessing over fear-based future casting.
Right.
I have so much more time to panic now than I used to.
Because you're not worried about phone numbers. My
no,
time
but like
used to
all
be.
serious, right? But all seriously, I see that. That's a good point. Now I can use my brain for other things.
I don't think memory exists. I don't think we have, because I used to think of it from the perspective of like there's a storage unit up there in this old skull of mine, and it's got everything. It's just, very much in the ethos of how we think about storage on a computer. I thought of my brain the same way.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't think we have memory.
You heard something, right?
I did.
Tell me, because that's...
I'm not going to do it justice.
Well...
It was on Rogan.
It was on
I
Rogan?
don't remember who the guest was.
Because that's hard for me to
If
grasp.
it's on Rogan.
No.
You're like,
I mean...
I don't hear anything from that
I mean, when you
sector.
hear, it was on Rogan, there's part of me that's like,
I know. You definitely do the eye roll. How many women are out there, every time their husband comes home, they're like, baby, I heard about this on Rogan. They're like, Jesus
Right?
Christ, here we go. Okay, what are we doing it now? Like, yep, that's right. Get in the ice. You got to get in the ice bath. You got to get in the float tank.
I'm saying
Joe
everything
Rogan has
does.
single-handedly,
Like, he has
done. I think one day
we should build him a statue.
we'll look back and they'll outline the effect, both positive and negative, that Joe Rogan has had on masculinity in this country.
He has definitely had an impact.
Right.
Yeah.
I
do not deny that whatsoever.
He's
had
the
an impact.
Oprah for men. The same. Exactly the same. I mean, what Oprah did for women back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, for, her career, Rogan did the same thing for men.
Okay.
Educated them, taught them things, all these kind of different things.
So memory.
Yes.
Yes. Memory.
I don't think it exists in our head. And I don't I wish I could remember. It might be nice, right? If I had this memory.
Well, memory doesn't exist. So where are you supposed to pull it from?
But that was the idea, was that it doesn't exist like a computer in our heads.
Yeah.
That it is, I don't even know how they referred to it. Like the guy that was trying to explain it. And Joe was like countering it. Joe was like, this sounds like bullshit. I'm pretty sure we got it, stored somewhere. Or it could be wrong. It could have been Joe articulating it and the guy that was like, again, I don't remember enough to actually talk about it.
Okay.
Other than what I've shared already. But I don't think it exists.
Well, just instead of trying to
I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, tell me what you think.
That's a genius idea.
Well,
look at you using up that
my
brain power that doesn't
I don't have to remember phone numbers.
Look at you, baby.
I can see the purpose.
I love it.
Okay, so
as soon as you had to work, because before you were stuck in that era of like, man, I can't even remember phone numbers. And your brain was wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you heard the alternative idea of like, hey, you don't have to obsess about phone numbers anymore, your brain turned and looked and it was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then it had all of this space, right?
There. Yes.
And now look at you go.
Whole new person.
You're just unstoppable with all the brain capacity. I'm totally not making fun of you.
You're so making
I'm really
fun of
not.
me.
Sometimes I feel
It's
like
on
I take
camera.
a bit that goes a little bit further and I just keep going with it.
You do not do
and
that.
the bit here isn't about
That's not you.
It's about this funny thing about how we don't have to remember phone numbers anymore.
Yeah.
You just happen to be how I'm telling the joke.
Well, I'm your muse, right?
You are.
You're welcome.
You're such a muse for me.
So what is your belief on memory?
I think what we're doing is we are seeing a moment happen. So I don't think we are calling up a memory and pulling up that file and then opening it up and remembering that moment in time.
Okay.
I think what we're doing is there's a part of our brain that can project things and see things.
Mm-hmm.
And that process feels different for everybody. Everybody has the ability to project and remember something, but how that looks in their mind, how they visualize it, how they see it, how they feel it, all of that is unique to the individual.
Okay.
But I think all we're doing is connecting to a moment in space and time.
Okay.
And that's what
memory
actually is.
Time is cyclical, everything's happening all at once.
Correct.
So the channel that we have to that moment in conceptual time is what we're doing when
Correct.
we see that. So we're just tapped into that moment.
Correct.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
So think about it this way.
I'm not denying our brain.
This is a really easy visual way to explain it because it just came to me. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
How you doing?
I don't know if you know this, but some women think I look like a gladiator.
I know. I'm going to be like...
Some middle-aged women that work at the grocery store.
Are you down? Are you dissing middle-aged women?
Definitely
Because we're
not.
fucking fabulous, okay?
I'm not dissing middle-aged women.
It's okay. It was just a mood swing. It's a perimenopause mood swing. Just roll with it. Now I'm back to normal.
Okay. So I'm looking at you and I'm all of my, like, if I just think about my visual what I can see.
Yes.
So we have peripheral vision, and then we have like centered focus,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So what I'm looking at is you,
Okay.
but my periphery, I can see things.
So you're not really focused on me at all, is what you're saying.
Hold on. So in the present moment,
Okay.
I can see this amount of stuff.
Yes.
But the edges on my periphery are a little bit blurry. They're not really clear.
Okay.
Like I can make out what's on the edges,
Yes.
but I can't see it incredibly clear.
Yeah. You could read the book in front of you, but not the one off to the side.
Correct.
Okay, got you.
So think about how memory works.
Okay.
Now, if we bring up a memory, it's kind of blurry like it is with your periphery. You know, even if you try to bring it to the center and really crystallize it and hone in on it and make a memory clearer, right? It still has a sheen on it. It still is almost like you're looking at it through blurred eyes in a sense, right? It's hard to see a memory really, really, really clear.
Okay.
It's almost as if you're seeing it from your periphery. And so I think that part of my system, my brain, whatever, I don't even think it's brain stuff. I think it's energetic stuff, can see things that are happening because it's all happening right now. So I can see things that are happening in my periphery. But primary, what's happening present moment for me is what I can visually see right now. And then if I take my extrasensory perception, right, my ability to see outside of the present moment, I'm still seeing present moment, but I'm seeing it as if it's in my periphery, which is what we call memory.
Okay.
Did that make any sense?
I mean, it's wild, right? It's definitely wild. It's definitely like I can see when we're talking about time and the constraints and like your peripheral, like the fuzzy, like that was, I can see that. I can see how that's a component, but again, I'm like our brains are fascinating. We don't really know what our brains do and what they can. I mean, we've got, I mean, I'm not a brain expert here, so I know, shocker.
You're not a neuroscientist?
So I can't go into the whole, no, I prefer the term brain expert.
Brain expert.
Okay.
Much better.
Let's keep it what it is. Keep it what it is. But I think that there's like our brains are really powerful, capable, and we just haven't, and who knows, maybe that's like a way of like,
sounds like something the brain would say.
Right? Maybe that's ego. Maybe that's ego. Maybe our brain is like, I'm squishy.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Who knows?
Like if you asked your brain a question, it would just be like, it wouldn't even do anything, right? Because it's just this sponge of, it's like
just gray matter.
It is just gray matter.
But anyway, so I don't know. I'm still in the camp of our brains are fascinating. Yeah. And they have immense powers that we have yet to unlock, but we can. And then we can Lucy up this bitch, you know, the movie Lucy.
Lucy.
Anyone?
Scarlett Johansson.
That's it. But so
that's a good reference, baby. Lucy up this bitch.
So based off
that's what I want for my life right now. Can we just Lucy up this bitch already? Like, give me that fucking 70%. I don't need the full 100. I don't need to merge with space-time like old ScarJo did. I just need, like, give me 75. I'll take 80. Give me 80% of my brain power. Okay. I mean, she's moving shit around at that point, right? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
She's got no lack with Google. Like, her chat GPT is on point. She didn't even have to fucking type anything in. Right? She's already, like, she wants to, done. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get Elon on that?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, God, we cannot.
Somebody else. Anyone else.
Look on that bench. We ain't got many other, Teslas around right now.
No.
Okay. Okay, so we know that we're not talking about that right now on the podcast.
Absolutely. I do not subscribe to that. Fuck no. No.
What were we supposed to talk about on this episode?
We're still doing funny stuff. I have a question though.
Oh, let's hear it.
I have a question because your take on memory and how it shows, and you're seeing that moment.
Yes.
And I'm fascinated with that in the aspect of because you're just like how the memory's fuzzy, and it is like when you're looking at it, unless you're somebody who experiences flashbacks, unless you're like Trump, and things aren't fuzzy. Reality gets fuzzy, and the flashback that you're in, the memory that you're in, the experience that you're in feels like you are 100% there. And it's hard to come back into reality and where you actually are. And this is the thing. They're like, okay, look around you the room. What's 5 things that you can see? What's 4 things that you could, how it just like tries to bring you back into the moment because you are someplace else. So can you, like, what is your take on that? Is it because we're leaving? We're time, like, how does that, do you have a way to speak to that with
what's my perception of that?
Based on your new take on memory.
Right, my brand new take.
And and you don't have to come up with something. I'm just wondering, have you already thought of that?
Well, I had a question for you.
Okay, I asked you the question.
I had a question based off of your question.
Okay, question based off of my question. What is it?
Have you had flashback experiences that are as vivid as present moment?
Absolutely.
That are as vivid as what we're experiencing right now? Looking for the perfect gift for someone that you love? Try thinking beyond the material things and get them the most unique, unforgettable gift possible. A custom song from Songfinch. Songfinch lets you create an original studio quality song inspired by your own life and the ones you love. It's completely unique, personal to you and your story, and will last a lifetime. Songfinch walks you through an easy 4-step process to create your original song. Just tell them who the song's for, provide some personal details about your story, and let them know the type of song that you want. Then pick your favorite Songfinch artist, or get matched with one. They'll write, record, and produce your custom song in just 4 to 7 days. Head over to our website. It's stephandcraig.co and click on the link for Songfinch. When it comes time for checkout, use the code Steph and Craig. You're going to save $20 off your order. Once you get your custom song, be sure to tag us because we want to hear it. We're probably a lot like you, where we had some pans that had been kicking around our kitchen since we met, actually. They're over a decade old, and it was time for them to go. Lucky for us, we found Heritage Still. Heritage Still offers premium cookware that's made right here in the U.S.A. It's actually made here in our backyard in Tennessee. We ditched our old pans and we got ourselves an entire set of Heritage Still. All of their cookware has 5-ply construction, which gives you superior heat distribution and retention when cooking. They also offer a lifetime warranty, which is really hard to find nowadays. Their cookware is versatile for all cooktops. We have a gas range and we absolutely love the way our Heritage pans heat up. They're chemical-free, oven-safe, easy to clean, and Heritage Still is committed to sustainability. They use environmentally conscious practices when producing their cookware. For listeners of the podcast right now, you can save 10% on your order. Head over to heritagestill.us/Steph and Craig, and don't forget to use the code Steph and Craig at checkout to save that 10%. Hey everybody, you know how we're always talking about healing together on the podcast? Well, today's episode is brought to you by a new company that's going to help you do exactly that. They're called OurRitual. Whether you're looking to grow individually or as a couple, OurRitual offers up personalized pathways designed by their research experts and therapists, all with the focus to help you unlock a deeper connection with yourself as well as your partner. You get full access to not just the therapist, but video exercises and other tools that are going to help you on your path. All of that for far less than regular therapy. So if you're looking for a flexible and affordable way to level up your relationship, check out OurRitual. Their website is OurRitual.com. OurRitual.com. Head over to OurRitual.com right now and take their quiz. This is going to help you personalize the experience so that you get the care and help that you need the most. OurRitual offers an alternative to traditional therapy and makes it more affordable, more accessible, and a much more engaging process through their user-friendly platform. Right now, listeners of the podcast can save 20% on their first month. Simply use the code StephandCraig20 at checkout. Again, that's StephandCraig20 and save 20%. Their website, one more time, is OurRitual.com. You and your relationship are worth it. Because I haven't. All of my quote unquote flashback experiences, or what I would say were a flashback experience, feel like dreams, feel hazy, feel clouded, they feel foggy. And I don't mean now as I'm trying to recall the memory of them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I've never had an experience in the present moment that feels as real as the present moment feels. I might have emotional experiences that feel the exact same. Like I can evoke the emotion of a past experience. Unfortunately, I'm thinking about negative ones, right? And crappy ones. Like if I'm having flashbacks, it's not joy flashbacks. Right. I'd like some of those.
Yeah, I don't know how to have joy flashbacks.
Right. What would be a spin on stuff. PTSD flashbacks? Right? Like
H.
Because you know how they're like
happy flashbacks.
What are we calling the opposite of triggers? Glimmers, right?
Oh yeah, glimmers. I want glimmer take
want some
backs.
glimmer-
I want
some
to
glimmer
revisit. I
flashbacks.
want some glimmer revisits.
We got to come up with those.
Right? Glimmer revisits.
Yeah, some joy flashbacks.
Yeah. Anyways, you were saying that you've never.
I haven't had one that is as real as when it happened, or as real as what I would what I would describe as this moment, as reality is. And it sounds like you have.
Yeah, I'm feeling incredibly insane right now.
Insane?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's insane. I think it's the thing that we were talking about earlier, where all of our brains work differently.
Right.
How I was describing how I visually see memory, and it's projected in a sense. It's very much like watching a movie or something, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody sees things that way. Not everybody's memory works that way. Not everybody's brain works that way. So I don't think there's anything crazy about you. I think it's fascinating how your brain works. So I want to know more. Like, it literally feels like
Dun, 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 dun,
the
dun,
present
that's
moment.
What I feel like. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not cool because, like you said, it's not the glimmers, and that makes me feel pretty crazy. It's not as bad as it used to be.
I guarantee you're not alone.
Yeah, I don't think so, but it still is like, oh wow, because there's part of my brain
I
that
felt
does
crazy.
think everybody does that, but there's
As you
been
were describing
so many
it,
times.
I thought I was broken.
How so? Because you don't
I'm
have
like,
massive flashbacks.
I'm not really having any experiences. Then apparently I must be so like screwed up that nothing in my brain is wired properly because everything's blurry.
Yeah, no,
That's what I was thinking.
I'm sorry.
But what
rough.
I'm saying, like obviously it's just, that's not the case. You're not crazy.
Well, yeah, okay. It definitely feels like that though, just because, my
I feel like we're getting towards dangerous
we
waters.
are getting towards dangerous waters, but I'm still going to say it because I've been trying to say the thing. Yeah, it feels like, like on a movie, right?
Okay.
Like on a movie, how it would like fade into the memory.
Yes.
And then you're in the memory, and at some point you like forget that it's a memory.
Yes.
You're just in it, and you're in the flashback, and you're having this experience, and it's so fucking real, and it's so real.
Yeah.
And then it starts to fade back. It's really hard, and it's disorienting for me. If I can still have that to where I just I go someplace else, and I hate it. To try and keep myself in reality is hard. And then when I come back, it depends on the level, right? But a lot of times I'm sick. I'm disoriented. I feel dizzy. I feel queasy. I feel beyond insane. My hair's tingly, and I'm like, what is this place? And it feels like I've lost it. And now I'm trying to convince myself that reality is reality. And I'm like, it's not. I'm just it feels like reality is make believe at times. The level of dissociation, the level of the traumatic is terrible. It's not like that anymore as often. It still happens. I still find myself there, but not like I used to before. Lots of therapy, lots of MDMA, lots of processing, lots of healing, all of that. So yeah, for me, it's like, and it's not a prize,
You won the lottery, baby.
Yeah, you're not doing things wrong if you can't do that. That's hell. It sucks.
Yeah, what's your perception of it? Like,
What's my perception of
what's
it?
your explanation of your experience? Like, what do you chalk that up to?
I don't know. Like
Because
trauma,
that to me,
right?
to me sounds like you're having.
I'm a time traveler.
Well, that could be.
I'm a time traveler.
That very well. The time traveler's wife.
You're the time traveler's husband.
I'm the time traveler's husband,
yeah,
right? I'm so ready to be the time
Oh
traveler's
my gosh,
husband.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up right now.
I would love to be your time traveler's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so
I think
cool.
we need to watch that show to figure out if we're talking about good things or not right now.
Anyways, it's a great movie.
Yeah. Is it?
I don't remember who's in it. I'm trying to remember the guy
Rachel
in it.
McAdams.
Yeah, but she's the wife.
Yes.
And I feel like it's Bana. It's Eric Bana.
I can only think of the cover because I've seen the cover.
Yeah, it's Eric Bana.
And I remember seeing it in Hollywood Video.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it was a wall.
Old?
It is that old because it was a wall.
Tell
and I just
me
saw
you're
their
in your
faces.
40s without telling me you're in your 40s.
Heck.
You remember fucking Blockbuster and Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video. I like
right?
Hollywood Video better than Blockbuster.
Is that only because we had Hollywood Video?
We had a Blockbuster too.
Was
it
there
was
one?
just small.
Okay.
and lame.
Hollywood video was magical.
Hollywood video was
It was exciting.
Yes.
There was stuff going on, even if you were the only one in the store. Because they had
loved Hollywood video. There was rows and rows of possibility.
Yeah. And now anyways, back to your out of body experience. It sounds to me like you are dissociated, or what you were describing, rather than, and it's not me like telling you what you had, right? I'm telling you my perception of what you just described. I'm sure you've had flashbacks and experienced them like they were happening. But
that's
also,
not every memory.
Right.
I'm just speaking to that.
But it also sounds like you spent a lot of time out of your body, dissociated. And so then coming back into your body feels very foreign.
Yeah.
And I also think that you specifically, not just people, even though I think people do it, right? But I think you specifically probably spent so much time dissociated from your body that you were probably traveling a lot. Like energetically out of body, metaphysically, your energetic body was probably doing a lot of traveling because, you were dissociated, so you're not in your physical body.
I would like to think that, but the only thing that comes to mind is actually just feeling like you're on a foggy plane, like no man's land.
Right.
I wasn't off having grand adventures. I wasn't like astral traveling. I was like in limbo, this place that just wasn't here. Wasn't safe. I would love it to be so energetically beautiful that I was off having, but it was, yeah. I mean, that's not my story anymore.
That's what
not
I'm
my
saying.
story anymore.
That's the other thing I was going to say too, was you were describing, you're like, this doesn't happen as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you're safe to be in your body.
Yeah.
So all the work that you've done now, it's like you feel safe to be in your body. Which is cool.
Yeah. And that's still my main, like my go-to as soon as things I'm like a fainting goat. As soon as things get hard, like stay here. Like,
that's so funny.
That's the best description. That's what it is. That's how I bring humor back in, to get me back in my body. I'm just going to think of a fainting goat every time. Like, because that shit's funny.
She'll be back in a minute. Give her a break. She'll be all right. What happened to your wife? She just faints like a goat sometimes.
It makes me so happy. That's like the best connection.
That's kind of what happens, huh?
I love it. And everybody loves fainting goats. They're so funny.
Everybody does love fainting goats.
Maybe that's another reason why I like the jump scares, because it's like, maybe it's a pulling in instead of a pulling out.
Ooh, we had this awareness the other night. We were talking about, because Stephanie just absolutely loves scaring people.
I don't love
her passion in life.
People. I like the jump scares.
Like the jump
I don't
scare.
like making people think they're going to die.
Yeah, you like the jump scare.
I like the jump. I like
you walk
and everything's
around the corner and surprise somebody, and they freak out and drop what's in their hands, and everybody laughs and giggles, and they have the jump scare. Stephanie loves those.
Boo yous are I love yous.
Yes, and I do not enjoy being jump scared. A jump scare to me feels like I'm going to punch you in the face if you do that to me again. Sorry, that sounded really strong. I'm not going to punch you in the face.
Very, like, it's definitely in activated moments. If I'm activated, I don't like them. I'm not like, scare me.
Even if I'm not activated, like there's no time where I'm like, oh, you know what would feel really good? A good jump scare right now is what I'm looking for. I don't like them.
Yeah. So
we talked about this the other night.
You did, which is how I knew. I'm like, we have to take that off the table.
We aren't taking it off the table. We aren't taking it off the table. I enjoy jump scaring you because I know that you like them.
Yeah.
And I also enjoy scaring people. That's the other thing is, that's a weird face.
I'm sorry. Who said? It wasn't on camera. Nobody saw it. I'll try to stop gaslighting you now. Continue.
Yeah, what weird face?
What weird face? Nobody saw it.
Are you in your body right now? I don't think you're in your body.
Okay, I didn't take it that far.
What are you? Are you doing all right there?
Okay, sorry. So you like scaring? It just surprised me.
Did you faint goat?
Did you?
Because I enjoy scaring people, but I don't like jump scaring people. I like making people feel like they're really in danger. like not in danger, like I'm going to hurt. Like
So we just have opposite scare styles.
it's opposite scare styles. That's a
Yeah.
great, and I'm not doing a good job of describing my scare style.
I mean, it sounds a little intense what you're saying.
Right.
I like making people think they're in danger. Like, whoa.
It does sound terrible as we describe it.
So what do you mean?
So for me, I like, so like if we're standing outside.
You like haunted house scary.
No, I'm going to describe how I would like to
Okay.
scare you. This will
Okay.
be fun because you're going to get scared as I'm describing it.
It's the other
So,
goat.
hold on.
I'm gonna scare
We're
goat.
outside together. I'm going to
Okay.
paint you a picture that
Okay.
hasn't happened, by the way.
Okay.
But this is how I like to scare you.
Is it like the graveyard story?
Let me paint
Okay,
the
sorry.
picture.
I'm going so fast.
So we're standing outside together at night,
Okay.
and we're at our garage, and the garage is open, and the light that lights up our driveway is on.
Okay.
So now you've got that picture.
Okay.
And you
yes.
and me are standing in the open garage looking out towards the road. Now you've got the picture. You can feel it. It's
Absolutely.
nighttime. You
I'm
can
there.
see it.
I can hear. I
You
can feel
hear
the
it.
air.
You can see where the light reaches. So that
It's also foggy. It's got like fog out in the mist of
perfect.
mine.
Even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I can feel it
So
tingling
just to
on
the
my
edge
skin.
of where the light reaches.
I can smell it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now
Now you sound like Mufasa.
hold on. I sound like Mufasa.
Yeah, just to the edge where the light reaches.
Just Simba.
Everything the light touches.
Everything in this scenario, everything the light touches, and
Okay.
then just to the edge of that is darkness.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
you can see that scene. I'm standing there next to you.
Yes.
And I hold your hand.
Yes.
And I squeeze your hand and I lean over and I kiss you on the cheek.
Yeah.
And I say, baby, I love you.
Oh no, it's coming.
And then I walk
Okay.
out of the garage,
No.
down our driveway, out to the edge of the light.
Okay. And then.
And then I just stand there for a minute
Okay.
facing the road.
Okay.
And then I turn around and I look at you.
Okay.
And that's all I have to do.
I mean,
That's
I'm
all I
scared
have
right
to
now. I'm visualizing it. I'm
Right?
like, oh my God.
And I turn and I look at you.
You had me as soon as you said, baby, I love you. I'm like,
Yes.
fuck.
See, this is my kind of scare. That's my kind of scare
Yeah.
right there.
Okay.
Because it's
Then
so
what do you
simple.
do? Then you walk up and hug me and say everything's
No.
safe.
No, in that scenario, I just stand there
Okay.
and I look at you.
Okay.
And you start to look at me.
Uh-huh.
But you can't really see me really clear because I'm at the edge of the light and I'm in the shadow. And I'm giving you this look.
Wait, what look? Okay. Yep. I see it. End scene. Okay.
So that's the look I give you
Yeah.
at the edge of the light.
Okay, okay.
And then you start going, ha, that's so funny, Craig. You're so funny. Knock it off. That's funny.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it, Craig. Stop it. And then I don't move.
you don't
I don't
stop
respond.
it.
I don't do anything. And then when you're finally on the edge of like, I'm going inside, this is ridiculous. And I know you because
Okay.
you'll go inside, but you won't really go inside. You'll turn to go inside and then you'll turn around and look at me again. And I won't fucking be
Oh,
there.
Jesus.
I won't fucking
No.
be standing there.
Okay,
And you
then I'm going
can't
to freak
see
the
me.
fuck out.
Yes!
I'm going to freak out.
Yes! That's my kind of
That's
scare.
your kind of scare?
Yeah, that's my
and
jump
you
scare.
said that you thought jump scares were jerky.
I hate
How
jump
is
scares.
How is boo, jerky, but what you just did,
See?
not.
Now I like to scare people so that they feel like
Okay.
they're in danger.
Okay, if you... All right. All right. So,
And I haven't done anything
all right,
other than
Mr. King.
I went for a walk
Mr. King.
down the edge of the driveway.
Yes.
And then I just moved.
You know
and
what?
disappeared into the
People,
darkness.
Like, okay, I'm kind of nauseous.
It's so good.
It is so
and then
good.
when you
This-
turn to like go inside really quickly, I'm standing in front of the door.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
you're
how
like,
did you do that?
I know. And then you're like, wow.
Okay, so this is like your beautiful creative mind. This is like you're creating. You can create these scenes,
Yes.
these movies. This is like really cool. Because also like but
know,
if I'm
like,
watching it on a
immediately-
movie, if I'm watching your movie of where you did this, like
That's a scary
I
moment.
love your creative mind.
Yeah, but like what would
And
be
I'm
the
gonna keep your juices flowing by
by jump scaring me?
It's like think of it like a defibrillator.
There you go. There you go.
He is shocked into.
I wonder, like, what is because those are two very distinct, different styles of scary.
Yeah.
Like those are two. Like you don't like being scared the other way.
I don't. No.
You don't like being scared my way.
I don't like feeling like I'm in danger. I don't like that.
Yeah, but it's fun.
I think it's the shedding the adrenaline.
Yeah,
that
they're
I like.
both adrenaline.
Well, mine's healthy and yours is wicked.
The suspense.
It's like a caffeine shot. Mine's an espresso.
And mine's like just a good,
I don't know,
slow burn.
It's a slow burn. And sometimes I like the espresso.
The suspense it's building.
I like the raw and feel the adrenaline.
You know
and
what's
then
going to
I'm
be
good
really
for the day.
funny?
It's my coffee
We
shop.
should go outside tonight and try to film this.
No.
And then we'll make some content around it.
Okay.
Because it's going to be fun because even though you know what's coming, even though you completely know what's happening,
I do.
you'll still get scared.
I'm scared right now. You're just talking about doing it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm a little scared.
That's so cute. I love it. I'm interested to find out if other people have these different styles of scary. I'm sure they do, right? But what is your, like, what would we call it? Like, what's your preferred method of being scared or
I think we
scaring?
just, we straight Twilight this
How
and
do
we
you
say,
like your,
are you Team Steph or Team Craig?
There you go.
There we go. We'll just divide it, right down. We're just going to keep a tally.
Perfect.
And we're going to figure out. So all my
Steph or
Team
Team
Stephs.
Craig? Raise your hand.
And
Please stand up.
all the Team Craig. We're not even going to show. We're just going to leave it on Steph because I'm infiltrating Team
All
Steph.
the Team Steph.
So we're just,
All
it's
the
just
jump
me.
scares.
The camera's just on me for the rest of the episode. Like, Steph.
Is it a solo cast?
Right now because I want
Let's hear
Team
it.
Steph's. Okay.
Solo cast Steph, go.
Hey, listen, don't call me out on my bluffs. Don't don't do it.
We did I don't know if it won't be out by the time this is out, but when we were on Natalie Deering's podcast and we did our chairs side by side.
Yes.
That was fun.
That was fun.
So we did a podcast recently where we were guests on Natalie Deering. She was on this podcast a while back. And when that episode comes out of her podcast, we'll be sure to share it.
Yes.
It won't be out by the time you're listening to this. However, the point of what I'm talking about was we pushed these chairs together and just had a single camera. But I was thinking about it when we were recording that I want to play around with that.
I do too.
Whether we do it on our interview episodes or even like I was thinking about how could we do this like we're doing now, but from that position. Because that's part of the reason why we angled the chairs when we thought about the whole thing, so that we could be having this conversation and looking at each other. But at the same time, I really enjoyed sitting close to you.
I did too.
But it would
really
instead of being able
it.
to have this conversation and looking at each other, we would be looking at the camera and
like
having
this,
the
but we would
conversation
be.
this way.
Yeah.
And I wonder if how different would that feel?
I don't know. I think we should try it for when we do interviews and when we're guests on other podcasts.
Yeah.
And I think we should do it for lives.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So those 3 things. And then I think that's how we play around with it.
Maybe we'll do that on a future episode.
Yeah.
Maybe because that's the other thing that.
I don't know if we could do it with a whole episode of just
Well, that's the thing is it would be talking to the people.
I know. I'm just like just having it on camera one right now feels like. I mean, it's hard to not have the
This feels way different
flips.
than the chairs
we were
pushed together.
We were
So we might change things up.
Like this right here.
Because I was thinking about it and I'm like, maybe we'll change things up for next year.
Yeah.
Just from.
Wait, are we gonna do a whole set design?
No.
I'm
Fuck
like,
no.
fuck. No.
No.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
I like our set.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about shifting up chairs
Okay. Well,
and put our chairs together. But I think you're right. I think we don't have to.
Out.
It can be any number of those things, right? It could be for lives. It could be for just interviews.
Yeah.
When we have people come
And then
on.
it's like a ever changing.
Who knows? We'll see on a future episode of the Steph and Craig show.
Right? Who knows?
We had a
Where
topic
will
in
our
mind
chairs be
that we were going to talk about on this one.
next time?
That we're going to tease and make you wait until the next time.
And we'll see if we remember because we also might not remember.
We definitely won't remember. Stay tuned for the next episode as we get squirreled onto something else. Go support Wooly. This is my favorite t-shirt. Not this one specifically, but my favorite one has a bunch of holes in it because I've been wearing it for so freaking long and it's amazing. However, go support Wooly. Go subscribe to the podcast. Go buy some heritage pans, some stainless steel pans, right?
Yes.
If you're a fan of the podcast, that's the easiest way to support the podcast is go get some of the stuff that we have sponsoring the podcast.
Yeah. It helps a lot. Thank you.
It helps a ton.
Yes. And subscribe. Like and subscribe and share.
Like, subscribe, share.
It helps. We appreciate you.
We did it.
We did it.
We didn't cry.
Are we?
We didn't have an emotional breakdown.
It was so close.
managed to, we did get really close to getting into trauma.
Because,
Started talking about out of body and
we like
dissociation.
to, we edge.
Right. We edge our trauma.
Just get right up to it.
That's so funny. You're so funny. That's
Thank
cute.
you.
I love you.
I love you. Expect the best.
Plan for the greatest. Which camera?
I was looking at one.
I was looking at two.
Were you looking at two?
Okay. You guys see?
We got a wild ride. Wait and see, you and me. We were meant to be.
We want to make something perfectly clear. This podcast is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as a substitute for professional advice. We're sharing with you our own personal experiences and insights, things we have found to be helpful on our healing journey. But we are not licensed therapists. If you need help, it's important to seek out a qualified professional. Remember, we believe that we all do better when we heal together. See you soon.